It is 6:06, and I call this regular school board meeting to order. It is October 17, 2016. Mr. Salazar, I know that you have some students here. Is this echoing?
It is. If we can get some help with the chair's microphone, it is a little, we're getting a little feedback.
But before you go ahead and bring up anybody, I want to just go ahead and say thank you to the administrators for taking the time to be here. Thank you, parents, and thank you, students, for coming to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Go ahead, Mr. Salazar.
Mrs. Peterson and members of the board, we're delighted this evening to have students from Olmito Elementary and from Lopez Riggins Elementary here to help lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Would you please help me welcome Principal Linda Rodriguez of Olmito Elementary to introduce us to the first group of students? Ms. Longoria, okay. Thank you.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the board, Mr. Salazar. It is with great honor and pleasure that I'm here to present two of our awesome Olmito Ocelots. First, we have Ms. Alejandra Gutierrez Garcia. She is the daughter of Araceli Garcia de la Rosa and Felipe de Jesus Gutierrez. Alejandra is a first-year fifth-grade student at Olmito Elementary and is experiencing success in the language development lab. She is currently an AB honor roll student and has perfect attendance. She previously attended La Primaria Modelo in her home country of Mexico, where she had equal success and participated in the reading club, earning a certificate. She loves playing volleyball and plans on playing competitively in the future. Her favorite subject is reading, and her most recent book is titled Sangre de Campeón, about a child battling cancer. She enjoys participating in the Olmito Elementary School music program and especially enjoys playing the recorder. Upon graduation, Alejandra plans on doing some traveling because she enjoys exploring, learning about new places. She plans on going to college to study medicine and become a pediatrician. Next, we have Joel Rosas, a fifth grade AB honor roll student at Olmito Elementary. He is the son of Angelica Raquel Amaya and Joel Rosas. Joel has perfect attendance this year. He is a member of the Olmito Elementary Rangers, and he has been honored in the past for being a good citizen. Joel is a competitor for the Olmito Elementary School Science EAE team and previously competed in the EAE math team also. He has achieved 14th place in the state chess competition last year in the K through 5th division. Joel loves math and science, but he also enjoys learning about social studies. This summer, Joel participated in the Lone Star Leadership Academy in Dallas, where he had the opportunity to visit museums and learn about history. His favorite museum is the Civil War Museum. Joel plans to attend MIT and become a chemical engineer someday because it involves the subjects that he loves: science, biology, and math. Joel says he loves Olmito Elementary because it is fun.
Thank you, Ms. Longoria. At this time, I believe we have Dr. Saldivar to introduce us to two students from Lopez Riggins.
Madam President, members of the board, Mr. Salazar, and our audience, it gives me great pride to introduce you to two lady wranglers representing Lopez Riggins Elementary School. First young lady is Analisa Cano. Analisa is a fifth grade student at Lopez Riggins Elementary. She's the daughter of Mr. Ariosto Cano and Mrs. Margarita Cano. Analisa is an A honor roll student and is currently in the 100-point club. She also has perfect attendance. Analisa is one of our hall monitors every morning. Her favorite hobby is to watch her older sister play college volleyball. Analisa's goal is to become a medical assistant. She has a bright future ahead of her. Next we have Mary Therese Garza. She's a third grader at Lopez Riggins Elementary. She's the daughter of Mr. Miguel Garza and Mrs. Patty Garza. Mary Teresa's favorite subjects are reading, writing, and social studies. Mary Therese is currently a participant of our EAE Ready Writing team. She also participates in the Lopez Riggins Wranglerette dance team. Her goal is to make A honor roll, and she wants to be a teacher like her mom and her grandmother. She's on her way to an awesome future.
Thank you, Dr. Sandiva. Ladies and gentlemen, the students are here to help lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Will everyone please rise for the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If everyone can remain standing for a moment of silence, please. Thank you. You may be seated. If the parents of these students, if you are here, can you please stand and be recognized at this time? Thank you, students. Item number 4, roll call. Mr. Maya, will you please call roll?
Yes, Madam President. Ms. Darlene Peterson.
Present.
Mr. Ruben Trevino. Present. Jesus Amaya, present. Mr. Leonel Garza.
Present.
Mr. Martin Castillo.
Present.
Mr. Ray Farias.
Present.
Ms. Sandra Garcia is not here. Mr. Gonzalo Salazar.
Present.
And Ms. Leandra Ortiz.
Thank you. Item number 5 is district presentation, 2016-2017 high school allotment for Los Fresnos High School and Los Fresnos United. Mr. Salazar.
Mrs. Peterson, members of the board, twice a year we bring you information on high school allotment. At this time of the year, we bring you the goals and expenditures that we plan for our high school allotment, and at year's end we will bring you an evaluation of how our students performed based on the goals that we set. At this time, I'd like to introduce our high school principal, Mr. Justin Stumbaugh, to share information on high school allotment for Los Fresnos High School.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the board, and Mr. Salazar. I'm here to talk about our plan for the 2016-2017 school year as far as high school allotment. I'm going to focus on some of the things different than we've done in the past. A lot of it's similar, but I would like to highlight some of the changes that we're going to do differently this year. We have 2 staff members cut from last year. I think we had 3. We're down to 2 staff members. Let me go back to the top on the allotment. Our amount is $470,000 and $470,033. You can see we have $364,000 for activities and $105,000 for salaries. Our salaries are 2 staff members, 1 English and 1 math, in order to alleviate class size and help to focus on intervention in areas where we're needed as far as that. Our next one is to address college readiness. One thing that we did differently this year is we invested in some, one of the goals is to improve our TSI scores in mathematics and English, so we invested in some SureScore materials, which we haven't done in the past. We had a half-day training. Our teachers were very excited about it, and we're hoping to see some gains as far as that in our TSI areas as far as mathematics, reading, and writing. We do still have counseling, so outreach counseling that's available for students that are identified by counselors and administration as well. College awareness is where a big chunk of our high school allotment goes to, with an increase in the number of dual enrollment students, which is a great thing for this district and for the number of students that we have. We see an increase as far as budget, as far as that, with the number of students that are taking the dual enrollments. That's where a big chunk of that goes. We're also able to pay for AP testing academic nights as well that we have at the end of every May, or in May, for our top students. Academic-wise, it's paid for out of that. But again, a big chunk goes to our dual enrollment and AP programs and to pay for textbooks and make sure those students are successful as far as that. Intervention strategy, one new thing that we did purchase this year, we purchased Tango Trend software for our counselors so they can identify students, then make sure they're on a post-secondary track as far as career and technical education. It helps us to identify if they're on a track to be college ready, as well as to look at TSI scores, AP scores as well. That's something new that we've done this year. One other thing that we're doing is the state has allowed us to use the TSI reading or TSI math as a way for a student who has not been successful on the end of course exams as a way out. So we're going to focus on some of those students instead of having them attempt to test in December. We're going to try them to test here pretty soon in October to see if they can exit out through the TSI portion versus the STAR portion for students that have not been successful. So we're focused on some intervention on that as well. And again, we have a lot of money goes portions to tutorials for PSAT, SAT, ACT, TSI tutorials, so a lot of college exam preparation tutorials as far as that. Those are some of the new things that we're doing at Los Fresnos High School. I don't know if you guys have any questions, but those are some of the new things we're doing this year. Yes, sir.
Sorry, Mr. Stumba. The ACT tutoring and SAT tutoring, I see it's for all students. And when does that happen?
Our tutorials are Tuesdays and Thursdays after school. We have a calendar set up monthly. It's available on the campus website. It's also available in the hallways posted on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's where we also have our academic tutoring as well for students that need help in the core classroom as well.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions or comments? Well, I like those changes, Mr. Stombar, and thank you for sharing that with us.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Now, Ms. Stumba will share highlights of the Los Fresnos United plan.
Madam President, members of the board, Mr. Salazar, thanks for having me this evening. Again, I'm going to continue to focus on the things that are new or the things that we've tweaked a little bit. I'm going to start on slide 4. So one of the new things that we are doing this year is we have a software that we've purchased for our English teachers called Turnitin. This software allows students to turn in their essays that they write electronically to teachers, and it allows teachers to check for things like plagiarism, like copying from one student to the other. And it has already been a little bit successful, which might sound negative, but we're going to see it as a positive because we know that if we don't address these things now and the kids don't learn from them now, then it's only going to become a bigger issue when they get to college. So we're using them as learning opportunities. So we're really grateful that we have this software, and it's been good for the students and the teachers so far. The next thing that we have that is a little bit new or different is on page 7, and in supplemental instructional resources. So this year we have teachers who were all teachers on our campus were able to apply for a COW grant, which meant that they had a partner that they applied for the grant for, and those teachers were then awarded the grant, and they have a COW, a computer on wheels, that they share between the two of them, so that 60 to 40% of their instruction would be online. We feel directly aligned to college readiness because if you talk to any kids that are in college right now, they'll tell you that they're taking a class that might be entirely online or at least 40 to 60% online. And so we feel pretty strongly that having these teachers do this will benefit our students when they go on to college. They're also participating in lots of professional development throughout the year as part of this COW grant. And along with that then comes a lot of upkeep things as well for that. The final new thing that I wanted to highlight is also right aligned to what the high school has, and that's the the Tango Counseling PGP program. We're going to have that for our campus as well, and as he mentioned, it'll help us to be able to keep all of that data about a student and their graduation plan all in one place. In the past, we've kind of had to piece it together from different locations, but this will keep all that data in the same place. So we know that's going to be a big benefit for our students and for our counselors. And I'll take any questions you might have.
Any questions? Yes, Mr. Meyer.
Our current information system tutors and exercise system does not have a
Yes, it does, but this one's better. Am I answering that? Okay. Yeah, this one's a lot better. And just the other thing that I would add to that is that Tango, which is the program that we're going to move to for our counseling PGP program, is where all of our state assessment data is. So right now, all of that stuff is in eSchool Plus. So having all of that stuff also in Tango allows you to see it all in one place. So when I pull up a student or the counselor pulls up a student, they don't have to go to two places to see has the student met all of their graduation requirements for the EOC, because that would be in Tango, and then pull up the PGP to see the courses that they took and all that. So this is going to bridge all of that into one place.
Just a quick comment in regards to that. I'm not sure what we paid for that, but whatever we paid, I'm sure is well worth it, because when I went to the continuing education, you know, the stuff that we go to and stuff for our conferences, I thought, how in the world are we going to keep up with all of this stuff, you know? And so I felt really bad for the counselors and for everyone involved, but that's wonderful that it's all being brought together. So kudos to whoever found that gem.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Ms. Dumba, thank you so much. Item number 6, district report. Mr. Salazar.
Mrs. Peterson and members of the board, we present to you our monthly reports. Our monthly reports there's very little to talk about. We're just starting off the fiscal year, and so not a lot of activity in our summary of revenue and expenditure status report. Still very early in the school year, but we have our fundraiser plans included, a very thorough, a very extensive report on fundraiser plans. This is something that we've been bringing before the board for some time, and we started when there were concerns about how some of the things that we were raising funds for, and we just have to continue to bring it once a year before the board, just to make sure that we are addressing the things that were once a concern for us. You see on portfolio report, some of the campuses are doing their fundraisers, and on some campuses you see that they've collected the funds. Other campuses have been already paying the bill on those fundraisers, but a lot of the activities, student incentives for attendance and other meaningful experiences are provided from some of these fundraisers. We're very grateful to businesses in our community. It's evident from reviewing these reports that we do have an incredible amount of support from businesses in our community, and their parents get behind a lot of the fundraisers that allow us to give us the kids additional experiences. This time we'd entertain any questions you might have.
Any questions or comments? None. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Salazar. And no one has signed up for a public audience, item number 7, so we can move on to item number 8, consent agenda items. There are 12 items on consent agenda. Do we need to go ahead and discuss any of these at this time? If we do not, do we have a motion for a consent agenda item? Mr. Trevino.
Madam President, I move that we move to approve consent agenda as written on today's agenda.
Thank you. Do we have a second? Mr. Farias. All in favor to approve 1 through 12 consent agenda items, please raise your hand. Motion passes unanimously. Item number 9, action items. Number 1 is to discuss and take action to approve, to add, revise, or delete local policies as recommended by CASB Policy Service and according to the instruction sheet for the CASB Localized Policy Manual, Update 105, first reading. Do we have a motion? Mr. Maya.
I move that we approve TASB's recommendation on update 105 as first reading.
Thank you. Do we have a second? Mr. Garcia. Any discussion? No discussion? All in favor to approve item number 1, please raise your hand. Motion passes unanimously. Item number 2 is to discuss and take action to approve the superintendent's personnel recommendation for the following position for the 2016-2017 school year. A, teacher. Do we have a motion? Mr. Garza.
Madam Chairman, I move that we approve the superintendent's personnel recommendation for the following position for the 2016-17 school year teacher.
Thank you. Do we have a second? Mr. Farias. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor to approve the superintendent's personnel recommendation for 2016-2017 school year. A, teacher, please raise your hand. Motion passes unanimously. And do we have that teacher here today? Yes. Can you please stand and be recognized? Thank you for choosing Los Fresnos and welcome to the family. So, thank you. Okay, item number 10. We have an item on item number 10 for a closed session, but if we, gentlemen, if we don't have any questions, I would like to go ahead and just go ahead and move on that now. There aren't any questions? So, if we have a motion to, I'm sorry? Item number 1, I'm sorry. The consultation with legal counsel regarding private bids received from the tax resale held July 5th, 2016. For the following reference, property struck off to Cameron County for itself and other taxing jurisdictions.
Ms. Peterson,
Yes.
I know that the counsel for Linebarger is present. I'm not sure if there's perhaps
Is she
something
here
that
then?
the
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, yes. So, do we have any questions at this time, or can we go ahead and bring this up now? Nope, we don't have any questions.
Well, I believe the matter is set for closed session. I'm not sure if y'all require her presentation or if there's something specific that she wants to share with you all.
I know in the past usually we've gone through the presentation, and as far as I think the packets that we give you all are pretty detailed as far as the information, whether any questions y'all have regarding the property.
We've actually reviewed a lot of these items, so that's why I went ahead and asked if,
Yeah.
you know, we get to see these ahead of time, and so that's what I'm saying. If we need to discuss something right now that you're here, we could go ahead and ask you, but I don't believe we have any questions, so thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So if we have a motion at this time to discuss and take action to approve the bids offers received from the tax resale held July 5th, 2016 for the above referenced property struck off to Cameron County for itself and other taxing jurisdictions, to approve resolutions authorizing the tax resale, please raise your hand. Oh, do we have a motion? I'm sorry.
Yes, Madam President, I have a motion that we discuss and take action regarding private bids received from the tax resale held July 5th, 2016 for the following reference properties struck off to Cameron County for itself and other taxing jurisdictions.
Thank you.
And your motion should include and to approve the resolutions authorizing the tax resale.
Thank you, ma'am. And to approve the resolution to, authorizing the tax sale.
Thank you. Do we have a second on that? Mr. Farias? All in favor to approve this item, this motion, can you please raise your hand? So, can I go ahead and see your hands again, please? Or is there any discussion? No discussion. All in favor, please raise your hand. Motion passes unanimously. Okay, now we can go ahead and go into closed session for item number 3 to discuss the superintendent's annual formative evaluation. It is 6:32. Okay, it is 7:20 and we are back from closed session. We move on to item 11, open session. We already discussed item number 1. There was nothing to discuss on 2, so 3. Discuss and take action to approve the formative performance evaluation of the superintendent as discussed in executive session. Do we have a motion?
Madam President, I move that we approve the formative performance evaluation of the superintendent as discussed in executive session.
Is there a second?
I second that.
Mr. Farias? That was Mr. Trevino, Mr. Farias. All in favor to approve the performance evaluation of superintendent as we discussed in executive session, please raise your hand. Motion passes unanimously. Item number 12, announcements. Mr. Salazar, do you have anything?
Yes, Mrs. Peterson, members of the board, we several announcements. On Friday, October 21st, we have early dismissal. This is the one day during the school year that we have early dismissal, and that is for the purpose of holding parent academic conferences. Elementary at noon and high school at 1:10. October 22nd is our UIL pigskin test, and that takes place at Harlingen, Bogus Field. On Monday, October 31st, Los Fresnos Halloween Festival, or this is an event where the community provides a safe place for kids to go. On the 14th of November is our regularly scheduled meeting, and we have 2 athletic events to tell you about. The Lady Falcon volleyball team is still undefeated. They can finish the season undefeated on Tuesday against Harlingen. That game starts at 6:30. And Friday, October 21st, Falcon football, 7:30 against the Harlingen Cardinals, and we have to go over there to play Harlingen. So those are all the announcements we have at this time.
Okay. Are there any other announcements or anything?
Are you going, Coach?
Okay. No? Okay, thank y'all for being here. And it is, where did I get my thing? 7:22, and I adjourn this meeting.